and the top part of the plant oxidized a little bit, so it got very brown. And that's not a problem. Motherwort will do that. Yarrow will do that. Several of the plants. Can we see at the edge
Watch
here?
out, it's spilling.
Yeah, you see at the edge here, you can see it got a little brown at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then we added some more vodka to it. And that's going to be just fine. And we'll let that sit for 6 weeks. And that will be ready to use. We've talked all day off and on about cinnamon. Oh, that already tastes so good. Oh my gosh. And she's, right, 5 days? Wow. I think that motherwort tincture tastes like chocolate. Like cheap chocolate. Cheap milk chocolate. But chocolatey. And almost all of the mints are relaxing. Not just the skullcap. The skullcap is kind of the ultimate in relaxing. But they're all relaxers and anxiolytic. Fancy word for it, make you unanxious.
Yay.
Yay, make you unanxious. So, maybe you'll share with us a few words about your relationship with motherwort.
Yes. I started using motherwort a few years ago. I've had a lot of anxiety and panic over the past years in different forms. It shows up as panic attacks or insomnia, just fear. And motherwort is just an amazing, soothing friend to have on hand.
Does it make you sleepy?
No.
No, it doesn't. Right? The skullcap will make you sleepy. The lavender can make you sleepy. The motherwort doesn't.
Yeah, so I'll just have it with me in my pocket when I go to work, or I find a stressful job, or here can be quite stressful. And oh yeah, I had a nice thing the other day that I was taking the dropper full, and you were telling me, why are you taking the dropper full? You're abusing this plant, and I was. Sometimes it would be by my bed and I couldn't sleep, and I just take a sip of it. And Susan said, five drops. Try 5 drops and see what it does. And then 5 minutes later, take another 5 drops. So I tried it, and indeed, 5 drops really was all it took. And it feels much more connected to really listen to. Okay, what do I actually need?
Yeah, when you buy a tincture, it's going to say on the label, take a dropper full, because they want you to use it up. But you've heard, how low some of the doses are. High too, a very high dose for echinacea, right? Really high dose for echinacea. I use a lot of hypericum, dropper full, right? Huge amounts of it. Right, there are some things I really lay on, but most of the time I find that you get a better result if you use a little, and if you don't get the result you want, take more. Oh, just a little bit later, like I had Bob do with the 5 drops of skullcap, and then if he's not asleep within minutes, do it again. And that usually that's that second time we'll do it. If I was writing this list again, I would put cinnamon tincture on it. You use cinnamon tincture?
No, but I love cinnamon. Ooh, look at that red.
Look at the color of that, huh? What is the primary reason that women lose their uterus? Bleeding.
Oh.
Right? Woman starts hemorrhaging. She's menstruating and she's hemorrhaging. She's in menopause and she's hemorrhaging. And she goes to the emergency room. And they do what they know how to do to stop that bleeding, which is they take her into surgery and remove her uterus. A dropper full of cinnamon tincture stops bleeding immediately. You could also make a strong tea of cinnamon. If you're at someone's house and they have cinnamon powder, and almost everyone does, you take a teaspoon of cinnamon powder in a cup of hot water. Let me tell you, that is strong, right? And you give it to the woman to sip, and it stops bleeding.
Great.
So first aid, huh? And this tastes so good, huh? This is early tincture. You see how good this motherwort tastes right now, this early tincture? When I tinctured the cinnamon, this is only about 10 days into it. And the whole tincture itself is like, really knocks you for a loop. And I use this in food because this is palatable, right? Now, I will admit to an early, like, on cinnamon, because when I was in grade school, it was the cinnamon toothpicks. The cinnamon toothpicks in your grade school, too? Teachers hated it. But, well, we loved it. And that was essential oil, unfortunately. But this gives me that same, I love you, cinnamon feeling without the essential oil. And there's last year's yarrow tincture. And your yarrow tincture's in the car.
You said so.
I said so I can get it. And yarrow is another one of those, don't leave home without it. It's the last plant on our list. And again, you can see that it's slightly brown at the top, right? Top is a little bit browner than the rest of the. Both motherwort and yarrow tend to oxidize pretty easily. And I don't let that make me think something is bad is happening. Yarrow is been shown to be effective against over 100 different gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. It is one of the strongest broad-spectrum anti-infectives that we have. Right? It's not going to do what echinacea does with the immune system, but just in terms of like direct infection, yarrow will usually slam it to the ground. Right? I said to yarrow, "Who are you?" She said, "I run a school of self-defense." Right? She was a woman, what, about 4'8", and you know she was just as soon as anything else. I run a school of self-defense. Got it, Madam Yarrow. Don't mess with her. She's not gonna give you the easy answer. She's gonna say, there it is. Right? Past apprentice said that her 2 children were complaining that there were so many colds and flus going around at school. They hated going to school. And they were walking through a field and there was yarrow. And the kid said, "Hey, Mom, why don't we make a yarrow tincture?" And so they cut the blooming tops of the yarrow, made a tincture, and it was sitting on the kitchen table. School started up. And one morning, the little girl said, "You know what, Mom? I need some yarrow tincture this morning." They opened the yarrow tincture they had made and put it in a dropper bottle so that they could get to it easily, and it sat on the breakfast table. And whenever either one of the kids said this is a yarrow day, they took some yarrow with their breakfast, and neither one of them got a single cold or flu that entire school year. Wow! Yay, yarrow! What a savior you are! Of course, externally, it is used to heal all manner of wounds. It stops bleeding, and it stops bleeding very fast. It's numbing. It's very, very pain-killing. Did you all get a little taste of yarrow? Are you getting any of that numbing? Right? It's just a little taste, and yet, whoa, oh my gosh, it's very numbing. It impressed me that during the Civil War, when they were doing amputations, these are field amputations, right? We're out on the field where people are dying, have been killed, bullets, things are blowing up, there's, let's face it, all kinds of body waste out there, and they're cutting off your arm or your leg. This is not a sterile situation, and there's no anesthesia, right? You get to bite on a piece of wood, and what are they using? Yarrow. They're using yarrow to numb the area. They're using yarrow to dress the wound. They're using yarrow to heal it, and most of those people survived those amputations. That really just impressed me to the end of the earth and back. That yarrow was effective in that kind of really like, oh my gosh, situation. And I've saved because if you put yarrow in a sprayer and spray it on, the mosquitoes go away.
Yay! I'm like already like, I'm rubbing garlic, I'm rubbing aloe
We
vera.
could have done that.
There's usually a sprayer around, but I couldn't find one this morning. I'm not sure where they are. The other thing I put in here was something that's become a very personal favorite of mine, which is kava root. And kava root is one of the really dynamite muscle relaxers. My muscles still, after the surgery,